This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Carbonite. Today on TRS, is it the best game ever? Well, we try to find out as we fly around Batman Arkham City.
Today we're talking about Batman Arkham City, Rocksteady's sequel to Batman Arkham Asylum. Really, the second game they ever made, which made a huge splash. It brought in a really fun version of Batman. I think probably the best comic book game ever made.
Yeah. What did they do before Batman Arkham
A game
Asylum?
called Urban Chaos, I want to say.
It sounds like a
one other game
title.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, and this is the follow-up to that game. It blows open the world and it lets you have an open world kind of free-form, flying around the city version of Batman. Tons of his rogues gallery involved. There's all kinds of new uses of gadgets and stuff. A lot of new stuff thrown into the mix. You get to play as Catwoman if you're lucky enough to have an original copy that has the code actually printed in it. That's a whole nother issue. But let's talk a little bit about Batman Arkham City. Alex.
Yeah.
Can't remember how you felt about the first Batman.
I liked the first Batman. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was really fun. I remember really enjoying it. This game is stupendous. I mean, that game was great. This game is amazeballs great. Like, there's just no, I mean, this may be one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah.
In terms of all the pieces being at 10.
Yeah.
All the pieces. The story, amazing story. I would watch the animated series based on this story and what is happening in here.
I agree.
10.
Actual comic book creators involved in making it.
Amazing.
They do an incredible job, I think, of throwing all the villains at you,
Yep.
but making all of them essential and
Yep.
like
Makes perfect
It doesn't
sense.
seem like, oh, we're just getting the next guy.
Nope. Yeah. So, story 10. Visually, stunning game. Stunning representation of these characters that you know. You know what I mean? Like, seeing each of the different villains and how this game's take on those villains, 10, right? This is the best melee combat system I have ever played. Period.
I agree with you.
It has the ability to feel frenetic and pressured and out of control, and yet when you start, when it works flawlessly. The deflection system, the counter system, that's how counter systems should work. Mm-hmm. Literally, this is how it should work. The animations, you literally start and you fight swarms of people. And when you are firing on all cylinders, you fucking feel like a badass. I mean, you feel like a Batman.
Yeah.
But then
there's no bigger badass than Batman.
there isn't, and it's amazing, and it's, you know, this is the first time where, I mean, I always knew Batman. The whole thing was, oh, it's Detective Comics, you know, whatever, blah 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 blah. This is the first time where I really felt the detective side of Batman. And I love the stealth elements, the like picking your battles when there's weapons. You know, I mean, this thing just sings. It literally, it is amazing. And it's hard. I mean, it's the best comic book video game ever. It's the best Batman video game, obviously, ever. But I think it's up there with one of the best video game playing experiences I've ever had. I mean, it's crazy.
Dan, follow that.
Yeah, samesies, dude.
Samesies.
Yeah, I think I agree it's an incredible game, and that fighting system that you're talking about is absolutely incredible. And the thing that really strikes me about it is that in every other game, like you said, it has the best countering system, right? In every other game, when you have to counter someone, you're like always like awkward. You have to wait for the you hit the button and you have to wait for the animation to happen, or like this game for some reason whenever I need the counter, it works. It actually works. Countering never works in other games. Or you are not punched. You have to like choose to play defensively. Like I'm just gonna wait to counter to fight. This you can fight, you can be badass, and then you can counter and be badass. Like it all
flows.
It all flows perfectly.
And then they add in the daggers, like the other types of countering, where you're like trying to get out of the way of the blade. I mean, it's perfect.
It is. And I remember not speaking favorably about the first game when we reviewed it, and it took me hearing the way you framed it. And then remember, I played it, I finished it, and I loved it because you framed it in such a way. You described about how you handled the stealth elements and how you really had to choose how you and
like the moments where you're above the
when you're above the battlefield and like that's what I absolutely adore about this game is. This, I mean, the last Splinter Cell did a wonderful job of it, but this game really does take it to the next level. I think I look back at my experiences in Stealth and Deus Ex, and it's like, what is that? Like, this is like, you really are choosing how to take out bad guys in a game that is so satisfying as a gameplay experience, but, and it reaches that apex level that you want to be at in all media, where the experiencing I'm having works on a video game level, but it works on the intellectual level of this is how it feels to be Batman. I am playing the way Batman has to make decisions. Do I take out this guy? Do I use my smoke bomb here? Do I do that? I have to make those decisions, and it feels that way. The game has a brilliant score that makes you feel amazing while listening to it. You know, like
I'm surprised it's taking you this long and you haven't mentioned Traversal, which is the Dan Trachtenberg middle name.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean. It's awesome.
Did you do the side missions that got you the boost?
Yeah, I only did the first one. The second one was so hard. Had you done the AR too?
I think so. Yeah.
Like I got my Admiral boost.
Oh no, I didn't go past that.
Yeah.
No.
I did that, and that is great. It's not better than Spider-Man Swinging Through the City. It's just not. But it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. It's freaking. That is great. But it's just you can't. I mean, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
But
well, I know.
awesome.
I agree with you guys. I'm shocked that other video game developers haven't just ripped off this fighting system.
Oh, and Aquaman. I mean, give me anything.
No, it's I mean, Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
Why is
the
Assassin's
combat system?
Well, that's what I'm referring to. It's Assassin's Creed. You have to like wait to counter people. Like,
and the guy will like fight you one at a time,
Yeah.
and there'll be 3 dudes like kind of just waiting.
Yeah.
That man is taking on 40 dudes.
And when you see, I mean, there's that great one of the boss fights, one of the enemies, literally. All of these enemies jump on top of you, and you see all the counter things, and you have to hit enough times to make sure that you will counter all like 30 guys.
Yeah.
And if you don't hit enough, someone's gonna get you.
That's such a badass moment.
Amazing.
It really is cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, and another thing you guys didn't mention too is I love the inclusion of the quick deploying of the gadgets.
Oh yeah.
So now you can throw gadgets into your combos too. You can throw a battering. It's so fast, so quick. Everything works. It's sublime.
It's very
really?
fluid.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did it once with
awesome,
my
dude.
thing, but I didn't. I felt like it was too. I was intimidated by it.
You can drop the exploding foam. You can like grab
you
a
can
guy's
literally
gun
do the
off of
exploding
them.
foam and like do a cartwheel out, and then as people come over, you explode the foam and then go back into punching.
Oh, you gotta do it.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah, dude.
There's so much of this game that is awesome, and you always look cool doing it. Everything you do in this game, you look so cool. I mean, sliding underneath a opening looks cool. Like everything you do looks cool, and that goes a long way in Batman. Batman is all about, in comic books in general, all about the frame is the best pose of him doing that thing, and somehow even in full motion, he always looks cool. Go ahead.
I unlocked Catwoman. This will be my one detraction from the positives of this game. Catwoman's an awesome experience.
Did you do that
playing
before
her.
you started?
I did it. I played a little bit, then I did it.
Because the game starts differently if you play as
Oh, it does
Catwoman.
start
starts
differently?
as
But yeah, I would see why that would happen because it's fully integrated. And it's kind of like Halo 2, where I just want to play Batman.
I completely
I mean, I
disagree.
enjoy the insular experience of her, but I was like, just when I was feeling my groove as Batman, it's like, okay, now I'm Catwoman, and now she plays differently.
I like that I
loved
got
how
to
that
take
she
a
was played
break. Yeah, I
differently.
like that I got to take a
I
break.
like that in a vacuum,
Yeah.
but I didn't like that. I just
In
finding
line.
my adroitness, and then all of a sudden.
I loved how she plays differently, and when you can target the same faraway spot, she'll leap toward it, but she won't quite get there, and then
Right,
you play
that's
this little
what I
mini
didn't-
game to get up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
It's awesome, and I mean, the game is as much fan service for people who love the comics as it is great game, and it works for both those audiences. You don't have to be a fan of Batman. You don't have to know Batman any more than Christopher Nolan's version or whatever, what have you.
Yeah.
And you'll still have a great time. But if you do like the comic and you do there's tons of like side information and deep things.
Yeah.
My only tiny negatives are that the movement to open world and adding in all these side quests, I don't know how much it really added to the experience. I love moving around the city and that stuff, but some of the side quests like answering a telephone and
I started skipping that.
Yeah, I
I
did
don't
too.
do
That's why I
most of
stopped
those
doing the
side
AR
quests,
missions. It's
but-
like I don't want to fly through hoops. I'm not. That's not Batman to me.
But
there's
the-
so much in this game is Batman.
But I like the difference in the milieu, where I'm
Yeah.
so thankful to not just be
They
inside
could have
that
got
asylum.
literally. I think they could have gotten rid of the side missions, just not had them in there, but still have it open world, and you
But
need
side
to fly.
missions
some of them
do
are
it-
cool. Some of them are cool.
And also,
but
you can beat the game without them, and then go
yeah.
back, and and then you have more game.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
It's
it's
great.
awesome. The great voice acting.
Oh, yeah,
I
come
love
on.
that they
Yes.
use all the like actual people
From Batman the Animated Series and all
yeah,
the different
and
cool stuff. Yeah.
we have a Batman voice that's always
Yeah.
Batman voice, and supposedly this is the last Mark Hamill Joker, which is sad. But
Really? That's
he's
interesting.
great. He's great. It is a great game. It's really great. It's great.
Grat.
Great.
Yeah.
Grat.
Take that, Bat Fiends.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around. We're going to answer one of your Twitter questions, but first we want to thank our sponsors, Carbonite. Whoosh.
Carbonite. What is that? What is this?
Yeah, what was that?
It's from it's Toronto Gosh when he puts him into Carbonite. He's telling the story
Yes.
about putting Han into
Yeah.
Carbonite.
Wow.
3PO.
3PO, yeah. Toronto Gosh.
This
I
guy.
don't think he says Toronto Gosh at that point, but whatever. Suck it.
Carbonite.
Suck it. Carbonite. Computer disasters eventually happen to everyone. Think of all the
Even
computers that got
3PO.
exploded on the Death Star. All of those
so
computers
many.
should have been backed up.
Man, there's some guy who's like, my picture.
Oh, on my iPhone feed. Your computer crashes, it gets infected with a virus, you drop it, theft, fire, torpedo through your exhaust ports, all sorts of things could happen. But if you get Carbonite Online backup before that disaster happens, then you have no need to worry because your files will be backed up automatically and safely off site. It's really
To the other
easy.
Death Star on the other side of the
Death
galaxy.
Star, yeah, the one that they just put like a little do not enter sign, some duct tape over that hole. It's super easy to get them back. Plus, you can get anytime access from anywhere to your backed up files from any computer or on your smartphone or iPad with the free Carbonite app. With Carbonite, unlimited backup for your PC and Mac is just $59 a year. That's less than $5 a month.
Yeah, $59 a
month.
year.
A year.
That's a big thing.
a big
$59 a
thing.
month, you'd be like, well, that's kind of
That's serious.
expensive.
I'd still
$59
do
a
it.
year?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah. But when you use the offer code TRS to start your 15-day free trial, you'll get 2 months free if you decide to buy. I mean, come on.
Do you think Vader, had just did the 2-week free trial to put Han inside, or do you think he paid the full-on $59 a month?
I hope he paid the full on 59 because it took a while to get him out of that.
That's true.
All the details are at carbonite.com, and remember to use the offer code TRS when you check out for 2 months free with purchase. Gravy Train. That's it.
Yeah, don't forget to send your backgrounds in to get them displayed on the show. Fans of Totally Rad Show is where you send them, and if you want our logo to insert into the background, you can
should.
find that
Smart.
at flickr.com/Totally Rad Show.
Last Totally Rad Show.
See you tomorrow, folks.
Tomorrow on the show, we check out the season premiere of The Walking Dead.
Today's Twitter question comes from @Devin Pellich.
Gesundheit.
And he asks, he says, my whole town's power was out for an hour. What do you guys do to entertain yourselves when the power is out for the evening? Jeffrey?
Light the candles, pull out the guitar.
All right.
I mean, by myself.
I just got.
And I saw, what? That's fun. I like playing the guitar.
Clothing optional.
Well, it's dark, isn't it?
Hey.
And I finally get to play
Bay
in front
window
of those bay
peeking.
windows.
Alex, I know this just happened to you recently.
It did just happen to me recently, and it's a little mind bending. We did candles and read. I read.
What? Read by candlelight?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah,
18,
that's awesome.
18.
I
Reading
think
is-
similarly, I would light a fire, and I would want to light a fire, make hot chocolate, and s'mores.
You
A
are
little
wearing
chocolate
the correct,
overload.
You are wearing the correct top for it.
I know. It'd be so comfy and cozy.
Board games is
Board
also
games are
by
great.
candlelight.
Yeah.
Is
Card
doable.
games, cards.
Fire hazard. Totally fire hazard. All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Ed Devin Pellick.